Pinas.
A former lawmaker and human rights activist vows to defend press freedom as he throws his hat into the 2022 race. On Twitter, vice presidential aspirant Walden Bello, the running mate of Labor leader Leoty de Guzman, said they will implement measures to stop attacks against journalists if the tandem succeeds in their election bids. Bello adds they will shut down troll farms and move to restore the franchise of embattled media giant ABS-CBN. The aspirant also remembered the Maguindanao massacre 12 years ago and pledged to seek justice for the victims. 58 people were killed in the incident, including more than 30 media workers. We now have with us for up close Vice Presidential aspirant Walden Bello. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for joining us. Very quickly now, let's go through these promises you made about protecting media workers and journalists. Go ahead, sir.
Let me just say that the role of the media is extremely important. We do have a number of major proposals to protect journalists. I would say that we do need a special prosecutorial team that would be just focused on investigating and making sure that justice is done when it comes to the killings or the hurting or the threatening of journalists. That I think is extremely important. We did say that yes, we are going to push for the restoration of the ABS CBN franchise, and we will dismiss all charges that have been made up by the Duterte administration against Maria Ressa and Rappler. Pia, the problem really is not just random violations by politicians. It is really the mood of being anti-free press that encourages these kinds of violations below. And Malacanang under President Duterte has been so anti-free press, that it's almost like a license, to people that would like to destroy the freedom of the press because their interests are being affected,
Yes.
by local and national journalists.
Yeah.
So we really need to get this atmosphere of intimidation that
Sir.
is represented by Duterte. That is number one.
Yes,
That
well,
has
sir,
to be removed.
let's be very specific. When you say that number one, you're going to move to restore ABS-CBN's franchise and dismiss all these cases against Rappler's Maria Ressa, how exactly are you going to do that? Because of course, franchise is the responsibility hawak yan ng House of Representatives. So President Leoty de Guzman would order or coax congressmen to give ABS-CBN its franchise, and then for the cases against Maria Ressa et al., you're going to order the judge to rule to dismiss or dismiss the cases or to say that Maria Ressa is not guilty. Ganun po ba?
Yeah, on the second, on Maria Ressa, you remember it is the executive that has launched these charges against Maria Ressa. Okay,
Was it a private citizen? It was a private citizen who filed the cases.
Yes, but it is backed by the executive. Okay, and I think that once you have a different administration, that basically says it is not going to support, the prosecution of these charges against Maria Ressa. I think that will make all the difference. Alam mo
Okay.
no, Pia, nagbibiro tayo eh. Hindi naman yung private citizen na yun is really the one. He's being pushed by Malacanang. That's it. Wag na tayo magbiruan. That's Duterte's ploy. And if we but to go to the second point, yes, Congress will have, to take a role in terms of restoring the franchise. But we all know naman, that the reason that those members of Congress voted, to take away the franchise
Is
against
because the president
ABS-CBN
spoke out
was because
against
of
ABS.
Malacanang.
Yes.
You know,
Okay.
was
Well,
because of
yes.
Malacanang's
Oh.
pressure.
Well,
So,
of course.
uh,
Yes.
th-
Well, sir.
th-
Yes.
you know,
Actually, the this private citizen you referred to has already said before that he has done this on his own. Anyway, sir, we need to move on to another
sure.
favorite topic of yours, Bongbong Marcos and the Marcos family. So, first, my question is, President Duterte has gone after Bongbong Marcos, saying he is a weak leader and a spoiled child. But you know, syempre, top of mind for all of us kasi is that he's leading the survey. So that's why else would people be attacking him, right, sir? Kasi, diba, papansinin niyo ba siya kung mababa siya sa surveys?
Well, the problem really is, that the Marcos family has, participated, led this effort to try to paint what were the most nightmarish years in our country as a golden era. No? And I think that's the guy's not running on any platform. It's just on this image. And what we are going to do in this campaign is to expose the fact that he has feet of clay, he has no record, okay, and that all that is being presented is an image that is wrong, that in fact was not the case. He's running on the Marcos legacy of repression and oppression and exploitation. And I think by the time that this campaign is midway, this guy's going to go down in the polls. I mean, Filipinos will appreciate the truth about this fellow. I mean, this is Marcos running again. Is as I said, this family raped the country for 14 years. They never made any apologies, and this guy wants to rape the country again. Filipinos
And
are
this
not that foolish.
and this is why you want to campaign against them, because as some people have said, a Marcos victory at the polls would be like vindication for them, right? And in a sense, these elections are like a referendum, not just on President Duterte, but on EDSA 86, correct?
Well, I mean, I think that's true. It will be a referendum on, to some extent, on the inadequacies of what happened of the EDSA government. But I think more important is, that this is really an image of the past, the Marcos era.
Yes.
That is untrue. That is being sold at this point in time. As we said, I and my running mate Leody de Guzman are out to. The reason that we're in this process is because we are out to stop the Marcos Duterte axis of evil. And in order to do that, we are presenting a vision for the future that does not bring us back to the dark era of the Marcos
Yes. Well,
period,
sir, yes.
that goes away from the inadequacies of the EDSA period, and of course, away from the bloody reign of
Yeah.
Duterte. We are presenting a program, very detailed program for the future, and that's what differentiates us from the other
Yeah. Well,
candidates.
part of this effort, like you say, to defeat this axis of evil, as you call it, no, is to exhume the body of Ferdinand Marcos from the libingan ng Mabayani, where it is currently buried, and return it to Batak. So, are you saying that if you and Leody Guzman were to win, the two of you would personally go to the libingan and oversee the exhumation of the remains and its return to Batak, Ilocos Norte?
Yes, and we will charge the Marcos family for the expenses of the exhumation as well as, sending it to Batak. But as I said, if Madame Tussauds Wax Museum is interested in this waxen image of Marcos, then we'll sell it to the Madame Tussauds, the money goes to the Philippine government. So as far as we're concerned, let's exhume that body, get it out, get it to Batak, or send it to Madame Tussauds in Hong Kong.
Would they be interested?
I would imagine so. Madame Tussauds would, they take all sorts of images,
Uh-huh.
including waxen images.
Uh-huh. Just recently, Bongbong Marcos, through his lawyer, submitted drug test results to PIDEA and the NBI and the PNP. You believe them, of course. Do you?
I would never believe anything submitted by a liar like Marcos. I mean,
Even
this
if it
guy
is,
lied about
yeah.
his university degree, right?
Even if it
Uh,
is supposedly a certification from a renowned hospital, St. Luke's, although we did try to get official word from them.
well, I would not put anything beyond this family. They could buy St. Luke's for all I care. This is not something that you would take firsthand coming from Marcos. And as I said, I if the COMELEC wants to requires us to do drug testing, Caliode and I will do it, but we're not going to do it to participate in this circus that is mainly out to clean Bongbong Marcos. No, no, this is not. And unfortunately, Isko Moreno and Soto, etc., they're all participating in this circus at this point in time, and it's shameless. It's shameful.
Okay, well,
We should
Lenny Robredo
address.
said she would undergo drug testing, basta random. But anyway, sir, we need to take a very quick break. When we return, we'll still have with us Vice Presidential hopeful Walden Bello.
SMC, San Miguel Corporation. Bisag unsang industriya ang sudlan niini, tinguha sa SMC ang pag-uswag o paglambo sa mga Pilipino. Karon, gikan sa SMC, aniya na ang SMC Davao Cement. SMC Davao Cement. Gama sa Davao, para sa Mindanao. SMC Davao Cement. Ato ni Bay.
Welcome back. This is our up close segment with Vice Presidential aspirant Walden Bello. Sir, I think we've talked enough about Bongbong Marcos in the first segment of the show, but so let's move on. There are a few questions here about the government's pandemic response and how you and Caliodi de Guzman, if you were to win, would like to handle differently the pandemic, the crisis.
Well, we have a 13-point program, to contain COVID-19. One of the first elements of this is that we want to be able to have 75% of the population have a second dose by September 2022. That is very close, if not on herd immunity. Okay, and we will also want to make sure that all 50% of seniors have a booster shot by then, and 100% of healthcare workers and 50% of the immunocompromised. Okay. Secondly, we will make sure that we will allocate 250 billion pesos the budget for FY 2023, which is the fiscal year we will be there, to COVID-19 related medicines and vaccines, as well as treatment. And we will prioritize the purchase of Milsauravir which is one of the major COVID-19 mitigation medicines. And we will make sure that the first line of defense is preventive measures. And that first line of defense against COVID-19 is in fact in place. So this 13-point program is very much all linked to each other. But Pia, the important thing is that we are able to generate the resources to be able to have an effective program. And we are going to do that by taxing the rich, making sure that there's hemorrhage of payment of foreign debt is stopped, okay, and making sure that all of these allocations for things like the NTF ECLA, which is use LCAC,
Yes. Okay.
is reallocated to the health budget and particularly to COVID-19 containment.
Okay.
So we have the measures and we have the proposals to fund them because it is irresponsible to have measures without also presenting proposals to fund them. And that is what you see in our
All right.
program.
Yeah, well, I'm sure all these big businessmen heard you when you said you taxed them. But anyway, I wish we
We're
had more
going to
time.
tax
Pero,
them.
yeah.
We're talking about ₱1 trillion to be gained, from taxing the top 250 billionaires in the country. And we're serious about that.
Thank you so much for being with us. I hope we can have you back here again, Vice Presidential Aspirant Waldo Bello, sir. Maraming salamat po.
SMC, San Miguel Corporation. Bisag unsang industriya ang sudlan niini, tinguha sa SMC ang pag-uswag o paglambo sa mga Pilipino. Karon, gikan sa SMC, aniya na ang SMC Davao Cement. SMC Davao Cement. Gama sa Davao para sa Mindanao. SMC Davao Cement. Ato ni Bay.